Hi, I'm John with FluiDyne Fluid Power, and today we're going to go over how to change out your coils and core tubes on our Vickers style DO3 and DO5 valves. It's really easy and you only need a few tools to do it. Phillips head screwdriver, an adjustable wrench, and a channel wrench. So as you can see here, I have two different types. I have an AC, which has got the shorter type of coils on it, and I also have a DC, which has got the longer type of coils on it. So if you're going to change just your coils from an AC maybe from a flying lead to a DIN connection, you can use the same core tube, that remains the same. But if you're going to a different type of voltage from AC to DC, then you're going to want to change the core tubes and the coils because they are different in length and size, and you're not going to be able to just interchange the coils on it. So let's go ahead and we'll show you how to change the coils and core tubes on the DC one here. First thing you're going to want to do is just take the Phillips head and remove this cover plate off the top of the conduit box. Once you get that off, the wires are connected to your light kit that's underneath your tag. So you're going to want to disconnect those because those are really connected on there with the hook, the eye type of connectors. So once you get those off, just untangle the wires, and then what you want to do is unscrew the hold down knob on the end. Usually it's hand tight, so you shouldn't need too much force to take it off. And then once you get that off, you're going to have an O-ring back here. They're going to want to kind of hang on to as you're pulling the coil back. So pull the coil back, grab that O-ring and set it to the side so you don't lose it. And then just keep removing the coil off the core tube until you get it fully removed and the wires free from the conduit box. You can set that aside. Now if you need to change the core tube or the push pin or anything inside there, or even the spool that's in there, all you need is your adjustable wrench to kind of lock down on the core tube and then unscrew it. Once you loosen that up, you should be able to just remove it by hand by unscrewing it. And once you get it off, the only thing in there is a spring, a push pin, and a little star washer that goes on the end of the spool. So once we get it off, there's your spring, so you can take that out so you don't lose it and set it aside. Your push pin is in there. Sometimes it'll come out, but if it doesn't, that's kind of what it looks like, and it just slides right back in there. Set that aside, and then once you have that out, you can remove your spool if you need to change it, but if not, there's a little star washer, and if that falls out, it just goes on anyway back onto the spool. So once you have your replacement core tubes and coils, you can go ahead and just reinstall everything back onto the valve, and then tighten everything down and snug it up. Just like that, and just thread your wiring back into your conduit box and through your valve. And then once you get that in there, you can just kind of pull the wires snug and pull the coil up to the body. And most of the stuff on here is snugged up or hand tight, so there aren't really any heavy torque specs that you need to have to put these valves back together. Reinstall your O-ring back on the end here, and then put your screw cap on there. Hand tighten it, just like that, and that's it. That's all you need to do just to replace the coil and core tube on this DO3 style valve. The DO5, it's pretty much the same process. If you have to use the channel locks, pliers to remove the screw, you can. You just don't want to press too hard because it will damage it. It's just plastic. But it's the same process. Just unscrew it, pull the valve off, or the coil off. And once you remove it, you're able to remove your core tube just by using an adjustable wrench to unscrew it. Once you get it loose, and then inside there is pretty much the same thing as the DO3. There's just the push pin, the spring, and then a washer that's in there that faces up against your spool. So there you go. That's all that's in there. Not a whole lot of internal parts, but once you get that replacement and you put it back on there, just hand tighten it up, and then use your adjustable wrench to go on the end here and just snug it up a little bit. Again, you don't have to really put a whole lot of pressure or torque on it too hard. And then you just want to put your coil back on and feed your wiring back into your conduit box, or into the body on this one. And then once you do that, you can just put your O-ring back on, slip your O-ring on, Put your outer screw on there, hand tighten it up, and then rewire your connection inside this top here. Again, it's just another set of 4 Phillips head screws. That's easy to remove. Nothing else inside here is going to pop out or get lost, so you don't have to worry about any of that. And then once you have everything connected back up, your valve is able to be put back into service and run your system. So that's it. That's how you change the core tubes and coils on these DO3 and DO5 valves. Remember to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you have any questions, we are online to answer them, or give us a call.